Today I'm sharing 3 of my favorite easy pasta recipes that come together quickly, look and taste gourmet, and are so incredibly delicious. Best of all, you won't be eating pasta leftovers for a week. Each of these meals yields the perfect amount for one person, but the ingredients can be doubled in each of them if you'd like to make extras. So let's get started with this heavenly shrimp scampi. Here's what you need. Fill a medium saucepan with water and bring to a boil over medium-high heat. Add about 2 ounces of uncooked linguine to the boiling water and reduce the heat slightly to maintain a simmer. 2 ounces of linguine measures about the diameter of a quarter, which is about 3/4 of an inch. You can either eyeball it or use an inexpensive kitchen scale. Cook until the pasta is tender, about 5 to 7 minutes. Drain in a colander, and I just add the pasta back to the pot, or you can put it in a bowl. Toss with a 1/2 tablespoon of olive oil so the pasta noodles don't stick together, and set it aside. In a separate small bowl, season 6 to 7 medium to large peeled and deveined shrimp with 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt and 1/8 teaspoon of pepper. Mix together so that the shrimp are evenly coated, and set the bowl aside. So you can either buy peeled and deveined shrimp, or you can peel and devein it yourself. It's really easy to do, so we've included a link showing how in the description below. Heat 1 tablespoon of olive oil and 1 tablespoon of butter in a medium-sized skillet. When the butter melts, add 1 clove of minced garlic and 1/8 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, and cook, stirring occasionally for 30 seconds. I love the heat that the red pepper flakes bring to the dish. It's subtle and not terribly spicy. Feel free to leave them out if you'd like. Add the shrimp to the pan and cook for 1 to 2 minutes. With a fork, flip the shrimp over and cook the other side for an additional 1 to 2 minutes, or until the shrimp are pink and completely cooked. Remove the shrimp from the pan to prevent overcooking and place them in a clean bowl. Cover the bowl to keep them warm. Add 1/2 tablespoon of lemon juice, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and 1 tablespoon of butter to the pan. When the butter melts, add the shrimp back to the pan and spoon some of the sauce over the shrimp. Remove from the heat, add the pasta and toss. Transfer to a plate and top with Parmesan cheese. As you can see, this meal comes together so quickly. You might consider buying frozen shrimp and keeping it in your freezer. That is a great way to meal plan. Take out the amount you need, thaw it out, and use it in a recipe like this delicious shrimp scampi. The second recipe is penne alla vodka, or pasta with vodka sauce. You'll find this dish on many Italian restaurant menus. It's one of the best homemade pasta sauces hands down, and really just takes minutes to make. Here's what you need. For the pasta, fill a medium saucepan with water and bring to a boil over medium-high heat. Add 2/3 cup of dried penne pasta, which is about 2 ounces, to the boiling water, and reduce the heat slightly to maintain a simmer. While penne pasta is the traditional pasta to use when you're making pasta with vodka sauce, use whatever you have on hand or your favorite pasta. I love penne though because it holds the sauce really well. Cook until the pasta is tender, about 5 to 7 minutes. Drain in a colander and toss with 1/2 tablespoon of olive oil so the pasta doesn't stick together, and set it aside. Heat 1 tablespoon of olive oil in a medium-sized pan over medium heat. Add 1/2 cup of chopped onions and cook for about 2 minutes, stirring occasionally. Add 1 clove of minced garlic, 1/8 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, and cook, stirring frequently for 1 minute more. Add 3 tablespoons of vodka and cook, stirring occasionally for 2 minutes. Next, add 1 cup of canned diced tomatoes along with some of the juice from the can. This is about 1/2 15-ounce can. 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt and 1/8 teaspoon of pepper. Stir and bring to a gentle boil. Reduce the heat to medium-low and cook, stirring occasionally for 5 minutes. Stir in 2 tablespoons of heavy cream and simmer for another 2 to 3 minutes, or until thickened. Stir in 1/3 cup of shredded Parmesan cheese. Taste the sauce and add additional salt if you feel it's necessary. So you may be asking yourself whether or not you really need to use vodka. Well, since we're making vodka sauce, yes, you do need to use vodka. Is it really necessary? No, it's really not. You can still make the sauce without it, but the use of vodka alters the flavor of the sauce in such a wonderful way. It adds a touch of heat and a bit of sharpness, which helps to balance out the sweetness of the tomatoes and the cream. I'd really encourage you to use it because vodka sauce wouldn't be vodka sauce without the vodka, right? Add the pasta back to the pan and toss to coat. Sprinkle with parsley, a little extra Parmesan cheese. By the way, we always list ways to use up leftover ingredients in our recipes. You can find the link to those recipes in the description below.
Oh, so good.
The third pasta dish we're making is baked penne with roasted vegetables. This easy baked penne is filled with seasoned and roasted vegetables, 3 kinds of cheese, and marinara sauce. It's a scaled down version of a dish I make all the time when we have friends and family over. Here's what you need. Heat the oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll need to roast the vegetables first. So on a baking sheet, toss a half of a cup of diced zucchini, a half of a cup of diced red bell peppers, a half of a cup of chopped onions, and 1 clove of chopped garlic with 1 tablespoon of olive oil, a 1/4 teaspoon of dried Italian herbs. I like using herbs de Provence, 1/8 teaspoon of kosher salt, and 1/8 teaspoon of black pepper. Roast the vegetables for 12 to 15 minutes until they're tender. Now this dish is really easy to customize. It's a great way to use up any vegetables you have on hand or use seasonal vegetables. Consider using summer squash or eggplant. The point is that this is a very flexible recipe. Use vegetables you have access to. While the vegetables are roasting, make the pasta. Bring a small pot of water to a boil over high heat. Add 2/3 cup of dried penne pasta and cook, stirring occasionally for 5 to 7 minutes. Drain in a colander. When the vegetables are done, add them to a medium-sized bowl and then add the drained pasta, 3/4 cup of marinara sauce, 1½ ounces of shredded fontina cheese, which is about 3/4 cup, and 1 ounce of shredded Gruyere, which is about 1/2 cup. Now, I love these kinds of cheeses in this recipe, but you can use smoked mozzarella, sharp cheddar, or even Gouda instead. Gently mix the ingredients together until all of the pasta is coated with the sauce and the ingredients are combined. Look at all that cheese. It's gonna be so cheesy and delicious. Pour the pasta and the vegetables into a lightly buttered 4x6 inch or 5x5 inch baking dish. Top with 3 tablespoons of grated or shredded Parmesan cheese and scatter 1 tablespoon of butter that we've cut into small pieces across the top. Bake until the top is golden and the cheese has melted, which takes about 20 minutes. There is really nothing better than the smell of melted cheese. It's so creamy. So these are a few of my favorite pasta recipes. Be sure to check out these great videos, and in the comments below, let me know which one is your favorite, or if you have another favorite pasta recipe, let us know. At One Dish Kitchen, cooking for one is all we do. Bye for now.